20 days in, and the world is barely keeping up. What began as a surgical strike campaign has metastasized into something far larger, something the foreign policy establishment has no framework for, no playbook to contain, and no precedent to draw on. Because this isn't just a war between the United States, Israel, and Iran. This is a war that is simultaneously redrawing every alliance, every assumption, and every red line that has governed the Middle East for the last half century. Day 20 of Operation Epic Fury, a military operation that will go down as the first in a new era of civilizational warfare, where nuclear-armed great powers, wannabe regional hegemonies, and non-state proxy networks collide not merely over territory, but over the survival of competing world orders. Operation Epic Fury is a war like no other. It's simultaneously a war against a theocratic regime, a war against its constellation of proxies from Yemen to Lebanon to Iraq, a war over the arteries of global energy, a war against China's major proxy in the region and their permanent control over the single most consequential energy choke point on the planet, the Strait of Hormuz. And what's happening right now with the Gulf states is nothing short of an announcement that the old order of managed coexistence is over. This is warfare where the battlefield is civilization itself, its infrastructure, its trade routes, its energy supply, and its governing principles. To that end, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has openly declared it is prepared to strike Iran militarily. Saudi Arabia has already been absorbing Iranian drone and missile strikes targeting its oil refineries and critical infrastructure, repeatedly activating its air defenses, and now the Saudi foreign minister has made it clear that whatever residual trust once existed between Tehran and its Arab neighbors has now been completely and totally shattered. You'll remember that China had actually brokered a rapprochement between Saudi Arabia and Iran several months back. The two nations had severed diplomatic ties several years ago, and is one of the key signs that China was beginning to exercise a dominant influence in the Middle Eastern region, given that they were the chief financiers of Iran, buying up to 80% of their oil. And again, we can't lose sight of this. This is the primary reason why Trump is doing this. Operation Epic Fury is achieving two ends with one strike, as it were. Trump is destroying the major power impediment to the implementation of the Abraham Accords as the civilizational infrastructure for the Middle East, combining Israeli muscle with Arab money, and he's destroying China's attempt at permanently controlling the most important energy choke point on the planet through its regional proxy, a soon-to-be nuclearized Iran. Now, of course, the significance here is enormous. If Saudi Arabia enters the war directly alongside the United States and Israel, this conflict transforms from a targeted strike campaign into a multi-front regional war, drawing in the UAE, Qatar, potentially wider coalition partners, making it the largest Middle East war in decades.